Hiya girls, we are Barney and Lukey and we are the hot young visionaries behind Truffle Pig Wigs.
And this is Cliffhangers, the unofficial, unrequested and unhinged RuPaul's Drag Race recap show.
The views and opinions expressed on Cliffhangers are from a couple of women who just love drag and have zero real business judging it. If you are not a fan of red-hot acidic critique, turn back now.
He's not very funny, but he's very hot and runny. Diarrhea or Barney? It's Barney!
What?
Do you know what I mean?
It's a work it. No, I don't.
It's like a whole song. Like, you're climbing up a tree and it runs down your knee. Diarrhea.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I'm familiar with their work.
Thank you.
You've heard of Elf on a Shelf, but now it's time for Lukey in Your Wife.
Okay. Where is he going to go with this? Old and full of mould.
Hello to all the LGBTs.
Hey, cuties, LGBT cuties. What have we been up to?
Well, I am freshly from the Glory's 7th birthday on Saturday.
Barney went to both the Glory's birthday and pantomime at the RVT, but my Fitbit said my readiness was very low this week, so I didn't.
Low levels all round.
I had to restore myself. Tell the Huns.
Okay, let's talk RVT Panto on Thursday.
Sure.
It was so good. Those of you that don't know, first of all, get to know. RVT, Royal Vauxhall Tavern in Vauxhall. They just do a yearly Panto and it was so fucking good. It was so camp and weird and queer and just everything you want from Panto. And also my favourite thing that a Panto absolutely needs to be, it actually like freaks me out when it's too high budget. I don't like it. I don't like it. It was so low budget, which is the two words that I need for Panto. Like, we're talking finger puppets. We're talking no set apart from one use of curtains that people pop out behind. Like, it was spectacular.
Did we get the classics?
Nothing but the hits.
They, them are behind you.
They, them are behind you. We also
had
we also had When I Enter, I Want You to Do. Just like real stupid takes on all the classics. You would have absolutely loved it. There was a fucking Lisa Scott Lee joke about everyone's here apart from one of us. Who are you, Lisa Scott Lee? Like it was fantastic. Lots of songs, lots of great voices as well.
Original songs? Was it a jukebox?
It was a jukebox. It's absolutely fantastic. So next year, I suggest you get down to the RVT Panto. And that was actually very, very kindly gifted to us by one of our beloved friends, Minxie, the pro goth.
She's a professional
goth.
Shout
out. Yeah, so shout out to that angel babe. And then down Glory on Saturday. You know, she's a girl on the town.
Something LGBT just happened to me just now. Like, I can't even make this shit up.
It was obviously Amanda Pett.
Amanda Pett.
Amanda. Our friend thought, is it that she was refers to him as Amanda?
Well, it's funny because, like, clearly, I would say a normal person would make that the joke.
She means
sane.
Queer.
No, I mean, regarding Pet, any normal drag queen would probably be like, oh, yes, Amanda Pett. And the joke is that the pun, but he is not a normal, boring person. So he is
Jackie
a man
Kennedy
you can
Thanasis. Pet. Yeah. Well, I always refer to him as Pet anyway. So anyway, he was on the ones and twos and we had performances from, oh my God, you would have fucking lost your mind. There was such a sick performance by Camille Leon and she was in like
another one of our honeys.
She was in like, it was literally wall to wall honeys. You would have loved it. She was in like sort of like, full fur arm moments, like like sort of like Tibetan arm shrugs.
Bit cheeky girls.
Very, very Eastern European. Is she Eastern European? Maybe. And then she had on sort of like this tiny little skirt, like denim skirt. Obviously, that insane body.
The bod.
You know
the
what?
bod.
The only. That insane little body out, and she had her hair in sort of like thick, heavy, like. I don't even know how to describe it. Like sort of like throngs with like beads on it. And she was just giving you your full sort of full like Eastern European / Tibetan fantasy. And then she just did like a full sort of sex number.
Oh, I think I've seen footage from the
sex
number.
You really would have lost your mind.
Dark hair and little much else.
I would have recorded it, but I was too enthralled. And then we also had an amazing performance by Lavinia Co-op, who is an East London and world global legend, actually. And it was, if you haven't, get down to the glory. What's stopping you?
Another thing this week is, so if you don't know, to apply for Drag Race, you have to do a tape. And on that tape, you have to have interview in and out of drag.
Yeah.
A lip sync to a RuPaul song.
Yeah.
Snatch game, which is your two characters answering two questions that they've given you.
Yeah.
Acting challenge and show your runway looks.
It's a whole lot of media.
A whole lot of media.
Yeah.
And that's all got to fit in 10 minutes. Well, this week we found out about the Dragula tape. Honeys. Not only before you do it, you have to answer 100 questions.
Count them.
You have to do a public stunt. For example, the person that told us said that they walked around with someone on like a leash. You have to do a divine monologue.
You have to do
your version
your
of the
own
Exorcist,
version of The Exorcist
in 3 minutes. You have to do a look with a story for horror, glamour, and filth, and interview in and out of drag, and any other thing else. It was literally like,
the tape is 20 minutes.
The tape is 20
So
minutes.
in the same way that for anyone, which is actually the more and more we find out from people, no one follows the rules for Drag Race. Because, but the tape for Drag Race has all of these things in, and it has to be 10 minutes, which is
they basically say if your video's longer than 10 minutes, don't bother sending it in.
Maybe we'll get cancelled and do a video of who is it, Bussy Queen?
Yeah,
that did that, like exposing the contract. Maybe we'll do exposing the tape and all of the secrets of the people have told us about.
You have to pay £69 for a Vimeo Pro account so that you can even enter.
I wonder whether they're in cahoots with Vimeo.
They must be.
Nasty. But yeah, I guess let's talk about some drags.
Okay then.
Previously on RuPaul's Drag Race.
We met the first lot of queens. Very exciting. Very good.
Yeah.
Good bunch of gals. They all performed for the CNT talent show, which was won by a girl Cornbread. So we are going to keep referring to her as Cornbread because of the challenge when, what is it, like money?
And my name Cornbread.
But what is the program called?
I don't know.
It's about like a record company and
Ruco,
yeah, basically. And the late great Chi Chi Devane is doing a little song, and she talks about shortbread because they're all biscuits. So it's very early for us to be recording this pod, so I hope you're all with me. But
it's
anyway,
actually 10:15. Like, it's not even that early.
We don't start work till 11.
Yeah.
June Jambalaya and Orion's Story battled it out to a Lizzo song, and unfortunately the story was over for Orion.
I liked that.
Thank you.
I just can't bear this super intense spotlight of just like I'm really going back and forth about whether this is a good thing to split up the girls this early on, because I was like, we've lost Orion, which I didn't like, and I'm just worried now that we're going to lose another one, that it's like, no, they shouldn't have gone home.
But like you said last week, we would have lost 2 girls in the first 2 episodes anyway, so...
Yeah. I know. It just seems unfair in some way, which I can't really articulate. But
do you remember when it was the Gaga? was it the Gaga episode when no one left? They had like a talent show, and then Thingy came back.
Yeah.
Cuckoo came back, and it was just like, okay, fine. So we've seen who the good and bad are, but no one's had.
That's what I want. That's what I want. Cornbread is just so gorgeous with that wet bald head. When it just closed up on her, I was like, you are a vision. And it was like, it's like wet shave, but also sweaty. Love it.
Maybe she's got a bit of highlighter on there.
I hope so.
I really appreciated June Jambalaya's shout out to the Bad Girls Club, and what a fantastic crossover that would be.
Yes, absolutely.
Drag queens terrorising young girls with bad attitudes.
I don't think they're ready to see that though. That would be a crossover for the dawn of the ages. I love that Kerry Colby is already hitting them. Kerry Colby already breaking that fourth wall and speaking directly to our cold gay hearts. Straight in, second episode, she's already leaning in and looking down that camera. Very into
we
it.
Knew she just got it, didn't we?
And also, Cornbread already Chun-Li style with them one-liners. Just like every time someone said something, she was just like, one-liner. It was like, okay, so you're going to be the winner, aren't you?
Looking forward to the potential roast challenge then, maybe.
I think she's going to win. She's just a funny
You're
bitch.
saying it now. Should we say now who we think will win?
I think Cornbread I think in the final 3 will be Kerry, cornbread, and I'd have to give a think about the third.
Well, yeah, because even though we've seen equal time with both, I feel like, maybe because I've watched the first one twice, I feel like I've settled in more with the first bunch than the second bunch.
I think the first bunch did make a bigger impression, though.
Well, shall we meet the second bunch?
I would like to. First up, we have Mistress Georges.
Yep, you're gorgeous.
Absolutely
Congratulations.
gorgeous. Historically, we love a Latina goddess.
I love a Tex-Mex Latina showgirl.
Yeah, so
Please.
refined.
Right up my cahier.
In love with that little pero.
Pera.
Pera, because she's a girl. Pero would be a boy.
Yeah. Like dog and bitch.
Okay. She said, I am the young Texan dancing queen. The Duchess is quaking. How? What a bold move. First one in, first line.
Well, all them Southern girls, they are kind of a different generation now, aren't they?
How dare you?
People can't
I'm
handle
willing
the
to bet
truth.
Alyssa is younger than... How old is Alyssa, do you reckon?
Probably like
Early 40s?
38, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
That gorgeous hair on her by Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, of course.
Looks
Very
lovely.
luxurious, them bunches. They make our Lux bunches look pathetic.
Don't you rip my Lux bunches in front of everyone.
Obsessed with black and red, always. Love. I gave 8 truffles.
I gave it 8 too. Next up, we have Deja Sky. Did she do her under eye highlight with talcum powder?
Potentially.
Crazy, no?
Going for the Angelica Houston in Addams Family.
Yeah.
But less of a box, more of a blowhole.
A blowhole. It just seemed to me like it was really unblended and strange, but very much giving Patrick Star.
Oh, that's literally what I wrote. Yeah.
That's all I could think of the whole time. And then later on, she wears like one of his like
I
his
do know that's
famous
when I
head,
said it. Yeah,
his
later
famous
on.
head wraps. I was like, this. I thought she was dressed up as him. It was all very strange. I just the under eye highlight just looks really unblended, and I didn't love it because it's not carried down into like the chin or the forehead, so it's not like balancing out and creating new shape. It's just crazy under eye highlight.
I've just remembered who it reminds me of, but I actually cannot say on the thing
Can you whisper it to me?
because then we'll have to go back and do it.
Okay,
I'll tell
that's
you
true.
later.
That's true. That's true.
I kind of liked it from like the neck up. I'm excited to see all this pastel she's promising, but it's a bit widow twanky to me. This
Widow Twanky! Not that. I gave it 6.
I gave it 6.
Okay. Next up, we have Miss Jasmine Kennedy.
2 names I associate with Queens of Colour.
Yeah.
I mean, just obviously because Jasmine
iconic.
Masters.
Yeah, iconic Queens of Colour.
Kennedy with an IE though.
Okay.
I felt like need to see more. I really don't know if I'm going blind now or just the low quality streams, but I feel like I couldn't really understand her outfit.
Me too.
I definitely
me too.
wouldn't have worn that colour hair with
I
it.
put styling not for me, but I could look at her and know what we were getting. Does that make sense? Like I was like, it's not for me, but I know where you're going with it. It's all very draggy and cabana mama. I think she's giving a little. Who's your mate that killed the Uber driver? What's her name? With the teeth. Robbie Turner.
Oh.
In the face, I feel like she gives a bit of Robbie Turner meets Alyssa.
It's Laganja for me.
Lagrange.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, a lot of that's the problem with like stamped makeup. It's like you're basically all painting the same face on. So it's like,
Especially Laganja when it comes to the talent as well. I was like, okay, that is
yeah.
Lestrange.
Love all these hosts boasting about the dancing skills. Okay.
Okay.
Give them a chorus line style improv challenge and watch them crumble.
I gave 6.5 Truffle.
She in Out of Drag is giving if Dusty Ray and Gigi Gorgeous fucked in a warm June pool. Can you see it?
I get the Dusty Ray. The Gigi's throwing me a bit.
And I never would have been.
Actually, we need to add to the list of things to put what Dusty Ray looks like now.
Oh my God. Sometimes when that TV money hits, it really hits them directly in the filler,
and
doesn't
it really
Like-
makes you forget exactly who you were and how much you fought for who you were on your season.
about how your entire personality was like be yourself.
Yeah.
And now it's like, actually, I'd rather be literally anyone else. Jasmine Kennedy, I gave them a 7.
All right.
What do you give?
6.5.
Right. Okay, let's talk about it.
Magimorphosis.
Magimorphosis.
Do you want to talk about them as a contestant now or when we get to the table talks?
The nightmare begins. Let's do table talks.
Okay,
'Cause
when it
let's
comes out.
Yeah. Now, as a lifelong stan of diners, drive-ins and dives, this whopper of a look
Lord Jesus.
had my head literally all the way spun round. I was giving you Regan, like 360 degrees going. But call me a purist, but I would love a peroxide wig personally. No?
It wasn't quite
That little crunchy
blonde.
number, very much giving Shirley from EastEnders, which is my go-to reference for when any wig is crunchy.
Yeah, you don't even watch EastEnders,
No,
do you?
I don't even really know who Shirley is. I just know she's a psychopath and maybe a bit racist out of the show.
Oh, I mean, probably,
Do you remember?
yeah. Got the face for it.
Do a LadyHawk. Are you kidding me? Guy Fieri. Give us a LadyHawk.
LadyHawk.
A lady mohawk.
Sure.
Mini mo. Well, he's got a mini mohawk.
Does he? Doesn't he just have like gelled twists?
He does, but at one point also he had like a famous sort of like very disgusting mini mohawk a bit when he was younger.
Sure.
I liked the look because I liked the reference because it was stupid.
Well, it was wraparound Oakley's sunglasses turned into opera glasses.
Well, exactly. But the entry line was it's hella flaccid.
I don't even remember what it was.
It was the most unenthusiastic, lame delivery ever, but I would be miserable if I was straight too. Let's talk about it.
I feel like from what I've seen of them, they seem quite kind of, I feel like flat, a bit kind of like monotone.
Yeah, jarring. And I felt like the tartan cheesecloth shirt was a personal attack, like in his little, just like sat there in his little confessional in his Big Bang Theory cosplay, like just literally like it's like he's like, oh, I need to let them know, like straight, no style. Oh, I've got this one.
Well,
like,
when he says going to be doing guitar, I thought, what's this fucking Wonderwall coming through?
Imagine! He's like, guys, can everyone just join round me in a prayer circle? And,
I like the Guy Fieri idea. As
Yeah.
I said, very into the opera style.
Very your
Oakleys.
colours.
Sure. I feel like I would have liked a bit more fashion in the design of the dress. It was just like a shapeless like shirt. Like I feel
Racer
like
dress, yeah.
give us some like hips or just like you could have like elevated the
Yeah.
fire shirt.
He did make it though.
Okay. make
Fire.
it better.
The doors. Tina Burner opened.
Yep. I like the joke. I gave it 6.5 truffles.
What was the joke?
The Guy Fieri.
Oh, sure. He said something as he came in that was just like, I really wish I could remember what it is now, but like, he was literally just sort of like, here I am, and I am dressed as Guy Fieri. Can you believe it? It was just like something like so lame. It was like, okay. I gave this 3, but also 10.
So
It's,
about a 7.
Yeah. It's like when I first saw it, I was like, fuck, Guy Fieri is so good. But then actually, as I looked at it, I was like, I thought, I've got many thoughts about her makeup because obviously it's picked at later on. But I thought
I didn't really see why. I didn't notice it.
No,
Why
this is the
she
thing.
should be.
I thought when she walked in, I was like, she's the most gorgeous of all of them. Like her makeup when she first walked in, I just thought her face looked incredible.
Yeah.
Giving me a little bit, I know you're going to pull a face at me, giving me a little bit in Dragula, who is the one that, the vegan one that had to eat the brains. Loris. It's something about the face shape that's giving me a little bit of
Really,
Loris.
I feel like Maddie is a full circle and Loris is kind of like an oval, like a longer head.
Something about Loris.
What about Loris?
But yeah, 7, I guess. And then next up we have...
Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between.
Are you a Fanji?
Yeah.
I am. I'm so glad. I'm like literally obsessed. They were the first thing I thought about when I woke up this morning.
I can't work out what character it is. It's either some kind of mammal from Ice Age or like something from Bugs or Ants.
I've written ants. I've literally written obsessed with her voice, but she looks so much like a Pixar character, definitely from Ants.
First I thought Ants, and then later on I thought maybe is it the squirrel from Ice Age? Angeria Paris Vermichaels.
Out of drag, her face makes sense. In drag, absolutely fucking mental. I love her so deeply. I'm furious for her though that wig was fucked. Why?
No, we're going to sort that one bit of hair for her when she comes
what
in.
is her entrance? Like, what? One of the production couldn't have been like, go, like just.
Or just one of her
a little
sisters
bit.
going, wow, you look great, apart from that loop of hair from your umbrella.
Yeah. Do you know what I loved seeing is I like seeing a POC queen in vintage looks, giving you that sort of Dorothy Dandridge, Billie Holiday glam, because I feel like that look has been so co-opted by like the white gaze.
Yeah, as if, or just whites in general, as if like if you weren't white or maybe perhaps Latinx, you were probably just naked in the 50s.
Yeah. Well, it's so synonymous with the Burley revival. I'm looking at you.
I mean, there's lots of lovely women of colour in the Burley.
Oh, yeah. But it's just like really synonymous with white people. And it's like, when you see that, it's like, yes, like it's a stark reminder of our actual history rather than our sanitized history. I just absolutely loved it. I gave it 8. I thought
a bit over the whole kind of 50s look, to be fair, but I love her, so I gave 7.
Okay, it's more that I didn't like go crazy for the look, but it's more that it's nice to see it done differently on a different one. Next up, we have Lady Camden.
I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to call her Lady Camden. I can call her Lady. I can call her Lady
We
C.
can't call her Lady C because Lady C is Christina Aguilera in the Can't Hold 'Em Down video.
But I think enough time has passed. She's lost.
We'll call her Dirty Den.
Also, when she talks, that's not the N-dubs I know.
I literally, soon as I was watching this, I was like, wait until we get back with my North Wheezy princess.
I just think she's talking about the Royal London Borough of Camden, and maybe she's from Primrose Hill or even posher. She ain't from Camden Town.
I can't see a girl dressed like that named after Camden. It's giving Ginny Weasley, not like the whole thing was just like.
Who does she remind me of out of drag in confessionals? It really, really reminded me of someone. Actually, is it like one of the? It's Percy.
Percy.
What's his surname? Ron
Weasley.
Yeah, Percy Weasley. Oh my god.
It was giving me more.
Percy
It was giving me more Ginny. Like, would you be called Miss Tottenham and then being head to toe Jack Wills? Like the maths ain't mathing.
If you don't know, Camden
make sense,
is known
Lukey,
to be a punk goth
stronghold.
haven.
Yeah. And it was giving J. Jolie pop princess for me, and I didn't like that the first time.
I always find it really jarring when any TV program, when everyone's American and there's one English person.
I have also written that down.
It just stands out so much and makes them seem so much more English and sounds so off-putting.
But also, didn't it feel a bit like they were fake being British? Like they had a case of the Madonnas?
Maybe.
Like, sort of like, when it cut, maybe it is because next to all of the people that are actually American, but like when it cut back to them, they're like, oh yes, I don't want to do this challenge. It was like, you sound like all them American TikTokers that are like, like, it was mental.
I missed that. You, me dad.
Let's talk the look.
I mean, the look was fine. It wasn't for me. I'm interested to see some other girl band looks. I gave it 7 truffles, I guess.
7? The same as Angeria?
I thought I liked the beat. I liked the beat as much as each other.
Okay, I didn't, but she does her own hair. I gave it 6. Then next up we have, is it Diabetti?
Yeah, like diabetic.
Yeah. Diabetti.
Okay, giving us wig. Finally, someone
yeah.
daring to wig. Giving us walk also.
Giving us Wigs X, the signature wig from Wigs X, who I love.
Who's Wigs X?
They do all of them amazing. Do you remember I always show you them wigs that have the amazing horns on?
Oh, the mullet.
Like, they do
horns.
they do loads of sort of like
cute,
proper
cute.
alternative like punk wigs.
I really wanted to like it. She's the daughter of my soulmate, Crystal Method. So
yeah, and I really
hope for potential.
I could see it as soon as they said it, I could see it in the eye, the paint, like straight away. He, in his confessionals as a boy, is giving a filled out Max.
I was going to say I have to keep an eye on it, but I can't. Spoilers.
He's giving. I'll put a face side by side. Really, I was like, oh, who the fuck is it? And then I was like, it's Max.
I think we should just turn the pod onto just
references.
Who do they look like?
Yeah. I mean, that's literally my life anyway. My question is, are we getting actual punk / grunge or the Glee original soundtrack version of Smells Like Teen Spirit? Because he was like, I am
potentially the latter.
Well, yeah, he was like, I'm a punk grunge queen, and then it like cut to him, and he's in that sort of like a dicky bow and French tips.
And
it
cut to him later doing a pink lip sync in a circus outfit.
We'll get to that. But I gave it 7 because I liked the wig.
I gave it 7.
Okay.
Oh, bear with Techie D's.
Definitely, I thought it was fun. I liked the beat.
Thank you.
And then oh my God, when RuPaul came in and said that an elimination had already happened, The girls looked spooked.
Spooked.
They all like freak the fuck out.
I was very into this look on Rue though.
Yeah.
Black polo neck and a snakeskin jacket. I like it.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I don't want to flog a dead horse, but nothing ever fits. But we'll move on. The unwanted return of the Tic Tac. I hope it's sponsored because it sure ain't funny.
That's a lot of Tic Tacs as well.
It is a lot of Tic Tacs. I was kind of like losing my mind because I feel like there's like, must be something like orgasmic about imagine sinking not only your hand, imagine sinking your body.
Well, I
all of them
reckon there was
Tic Tacs.
probably
Also dirty.
After about 4 inches, just like a platform. I don't think it was.
I don't think
no one
be
was
fully
going,
submerged.
no one
like
was going
quicksand.
deep. Because I was thinking I would love to swim through Tic Tacs, just like letting as many go in my mouth as I can as possible.
RuPaul really loves to hit us with this early ANTM Tyra acting, and we've seen AJ and the Queen, so we know about your acting, RuPaul. Like, he was going so hard for the daytime Emmy.
Do you think that they did that for everyone, or just Deja because they were first, and also poor Deja because they looked so confused?
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping just Deja, but I mean,
it was very reminiscent of Everybody Loves Sissy.
Yeah, 100%. I don't need to see RuPaul acting anymore, but I guess it's her show.
Jasmine reminds me of your friend Liz.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Every motherfucking frame Angeria hitting.
Oh my God,
Perfection.
yeah, I literally wrote
Perfection.
giving me gorgeous pin-up poses and then obviously called it. I just thought very lovely to see my boys Bruno and Bryce, although very triggered by the name Bryce at the moment because we are knee deep in Maths Australia, I believe
Married at
season
first
8
sight.
or something. And ladies, please just like leave a comment on the Instagram post for this if you hate Bryce. We have to sit on our hands 10 times a day to not troll him. We hate him.
Absolutely unbearable. What a specimen. We need to talk about the arch that Georges hit when getting into doggy. That's what we call muscle memory, girls. Those are warriors' knees. Like when she was like on all fours, bam, back arch, legs spread. It was like, wow, I've been here before. Absolutely loved it. Let's have a real moment of questioning and silence.
Santino's hat.
It was so bizarre to reference Santino. Do you not think? A reminder that Santino Rice, much like his disgraced racist and transphobic friend Lucian Piani, spends his days spiralling on Twitter, tweeting anti-vax madness.
Santino does.
Yep,
Oh,
favouring prayer and fasting over the poisonous vaccine, he says. That's who you're calling out.
It's fine because it's just Darwin's.
Yeah.
What's it called? Survival of the fittest.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, let the dickhead
Natural
stupid people,
selection.
Natural selection. Yeah, let them fade out. Let all the anti-maskers and anti-COVID people just die.
Yeah.
Strong views on the pod today.
No, people are like, and unsubscribe.
I feel like though, because like, you know how we always say like on Druck UK or Druck,
yeah,
that Rue seems a lot more kind of loose and stuff. I feel like maybe they're trying to bring that kind of jokey, self-referential, like it's all more fun than it used to be kind of vibe to it.
fine, but don't bring up Santino ever again.
Oh, that was the last time, I guess.
I feel like we're going to go in to record the single and Lucian Piani's going to be sitting there and just like, we'll just be gaslit.
There'll just be like a little trilby hidden on top.
Yeah. Lady Camden's photo looked like a swarm of orange beetles crawling all over her body, and jagag. It actually made me feel sick. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what it was about her, just like literally all over them. I was like, couldn't bear it.
Oh no. I loved it.
Did you think that Angeria was giving pin-up Raja tease? It was when she was modelling, I was like, there was
if I had to
something
compare,
about it.
I'd probably go Jada. Something about the hair shape.
Wanna lay with you, Jada. Yeah, loved it.
Moving back into the workroom.
Yeah, into the reveal of the Maxi Challenge, which is, you guessed it, it's the CNTs again. So that's very cute. Who are you for the CNTs?
I feel like I opened up this new thing because I was literally about to say something and you just slid in there.
Oh, you tell him about the workroom.
First of all, I was going to say there's no way that Gold Star conversation came up organically. Gold Star gay.
Oh my God. I nearly vommed. It was so outdated and so misogynistic and so fucking gross. I'm glad, I think it was Jasmine Kennedy that was like, oh, it's when you haven't slept with the opposite gender, which I thought at least like made it a bit better. But let's be real, I've never met a lesbian out here that's like, I'm a gold star lesbian. It's like all women want to stay away from men as much as possible. Like that doesn't make you a gold star. That just makes you literally like trying to prioritize your safety. Like,
my favourite is, I guess, above gold is platinum, when it's like, I came from a cesarean, I ain't even touched a pussy.
but I just hate it so much because it's just so misogynistic. Like, oh my God, I'm the best type of gay because I've never been near a woman. It's like, shut up.
I liked in Angeria's talk
Angeria.
that what she was saying, in the South, it makes you more special to have an I in front of the A, and as a Lucrezia. I can really relate to that.
I hate to see the girls get so self-deprecative when they get out of drag. It really like stings me every time. You know, like when Deja got out and she was like, Uncle Fester's here. It's like, honey, that's the first time of like introducing yourself to all the girls that you don't have to be like, I'm disgusting.
It's because obviously 9 times out of 10 she gets out of drag and someone goes, oh, Uncle Fester. So she's trying to get in there first.
But that's what I mean. Like cussing yourself.
It is sad that you lot are horrible and mean.
I would never say Uncle Fester. I would say it in my interview like a decent person.
Thank you.
So weird for Maddie Morphosis, and I'm gonna only say that name once because it's really not a name.
After the entrance looks, I drop everyone's surnames.
Maddie, yeah. It's Madison. It's so weird to conceal his hetero-ness, like the sordid disease that it is, because he's just really just making it more of a drams that way.
Who's concealing it?
I wonder whether production told him to. Maddie was like didn't say anything to any of them about it, and then
in the Gold Star conversation?
Yeah, and then
maybe you don't want to do it on your first day.
And Jasmine was like, well, we know Maddie's not a gold star, and then just like laughed and looked away. It's like that would have been the perfect time to just be like, yeah, I'm straight. Like and they also said earlier that they were like, I'm not gonna tell people.
No, I don't want to lead with it in the way that, like, you would say a trans queen shouldn't have to be like, I'm trans, by the way. It's like, can I just be like, you probably don't want to alienate yourself on the first, like, hour that you're in the workroom.
But I wonder whether production told him to.
Well, probably, because they wanted it to come out in the walkthrough.
Absolutely mental.
Before we get to him, just did you notice that Lady was even standing in, I want to say, fifth during her conversation with Thingy, a true ballerina.
Truly. A bitch is getting drunk on Angeria's energy. Like, I want to skin her and wear her size 4 skin. Like, foreskin? Don't even admit the jokes. I just love her already. Like that, it rarely happens that I'm like hook it to my veins straight away. But just like every time she opened her mouth, I was like, she's the best.
Right, do you want to get on your soapbox then?
Let's slow clap for RuPaul outing Maddie in the first 10 minutes. That's TV, guys. That is TV. He seems so timid, and I'm just not seeing any whisper of personality at the moment. So the thing that jars me about it is then it feels a bit like stunt casting.
Well, the only thing I've really got to say on the whole matter is...
Are we just going to toe dip into the discourse just one time?
Well, last week you were saying, I got so much to say, I'm going to save it for next week. So I thought...
That was about the look, actually. It was less about her being here, because it's like, that feels a bit tired. Sorry, go on.
The only thing I have to say about the matter is any anger you might have that a straight man is on Drag Race really should go to the production crew. They're just any other person who's applied. Production crew have done it for ratings so that people will subscribe to World of Wonder for this new season, and that's it, basically.
Yeah. 100% agree with that. Also, as well, my 2 points about production as well is that, first of all, they are now trying to appeal to a broader range of people, and by including someone that is straight, it will make straight audiences that are maybe like a bit more confused about it, bring them in more, because it feels less like a sort of, it feels more inclusive. It feels a bit like, oh, this is something that as a straight person I don't have to feel like what's the word? What's the other the opposite of inclusive? Yeah, alienated. Like, I don't have to feel alienated as this is like queer art, because actually there is a straight person doing it. Which, I mean, have your own personal opinions about that, but it's a smart thing from a production point of view.
And also, I guess RuPaul's been sitting there going, you lot have been saying I need to let different people do it, so all right then, I'm going to show you the most different person, and then you can't tell me shit. I reckon that's
and also the most fucking important thing from as all Drag Race and drag is based on misogyny, let's fucking remind that there is so many heterosexual female drag queens.
Well, yeah, so when they literally go like, I've never heard of a straight drag queen.
like,
I've never heard of a straight drag queen. It's like, can you say male, please?
Yeah, it's like funny because I could name 10.
Yeah.
Like what? Like so that's also quite indicative of people that I think are not within their local drag communities, because there are plenty of motherfucking and we do the wigs for them. Like it's so that's a bit that's a bit. But I just want to say really quickly, I would never have a problem with anyone applying and getting in on Drag Race because they're just taking an opportunity that is presented to them. The problem is with production. Why the fuck are we having a straight person on Drag Race when we are still fighting for representation of what drag communities actually look like, and there's no involvement of drag kings, and there's like non-binary performers who are alternative and trans performers. Like we're not really seeing a full spectrum of the queer community, and it's been opened to straight people before the full gamut of the queer community is included. And that's only it. But I feel quite good about Maddie, to be honest. Madison, but I'm calling her Maddie, is like quite all right. So, should we talk the CNTs? And that was the toe dip into the discourse, and it will never. Now it's done.
Should we have a break first and come back after an advert for the CNTs?
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, I just want to say quickly, Rue saying ballet is boring. Outrageous for a whole dance style. And he was like, I've seen it before. I went to see ballet once, and it was.
I would think that
boring.
would be something, if you said to RuPaul, they would think you were so like such a Philistine, so uneducated, so such a like unbroad sense of art.
Also, as well, haven't you had multiple ballet challenges on Drag Race?
Yeah, but it's boring. Okay.
Also, as well, sorry, Deja. She is an edgy punk grunge girl. Track choice, Pink, in her R&B era.
At least you make me sick.
Like something like Family Portrait. Give me an emotional dance to Family Portrait. Also, it is not lost on me the irony of having my barefaced sister Alicia Keys on a drag show. Not a lick. Oh my god, she's so beautiful, isn't she?
When it's like, it makes me feel sick to look at what I look like with no makeup on, and then
I'm sitting here opposite you now.
I know, overhead fluorescent lighting.
Yeah, and
these fucking tear troughs, you could fucking, I don't know,
serve dip out of them.
Anywho, let's have a break.
Yeah,
BRB.
please.
Whoops. CNT. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. It's easy as BUYWIG. Don't be an ugly PIG.
TrufflePigWigs.co.uk. Head over to Truffle Pig Wigs. Don't be a CNT today.
Please welcome back to the stage. She's a fan of Victorian moulding, Miss Celine Rose. Ceiling Rose. Celine Rose.
Do you remember when we promised that we'd give this up because it was so presented to the stage? Miss Terry Ball. So
What's Terry Ball?
Just terrible. It's terrible.
Sure.
We've got to make a promise to the
You're
listeners.
boring.
We've got to make a promise to the listeners. This has got to go. It's bad. But you're here. You're back in Cliffhangers. You're with the firm. Welcome
We've just
back.
been looking at some of the promo shots for UK versus the world.
Let me tell you, girls, rough.
Rough and ropey, and they're trying to do them in kind of like futuristic Greek gods.
Gladiator.
Yeah.
It is, honestly. There's a couple of girls in there that I could.
A couple of girls in here I don't care for.
That I out of all the cast though, Lemon.
I'm happy to see.
Happy to see Lemon.
Happy to see Thai Queens.
Pangina, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's not how they just pronounced it. On
Pangina Heels.
the thing. I think it's not. I don't think it's an Ina. I think it's like
Gina.
No, I don't think. I'm not sure if there's.
Pangana.
I think it's like a place in Thailand, like
Oh, really?
Panjaya or something. I don't think it's a vagina pun.
It's definitely Gina. It's not Pangea. Like.
Well, I feel like anyway. I'll give you an update afterwards.
Isn't Pangea when we were all landlocked?
I don't know. Fine. You talk amongst yourself, and I'm just going to have to find this.
I
thing
feel
was
like
just looking
Pangea
at.
is when we were all landlocked and before we all drifted apart on the tectonics, and we were all one landlocked country. I feel like, but that also might be a lie. But her name is definitely Pangina or Gina. It's got an N in it.
Okay, bear with. Can confirm it is Pangina.
Oh, not a drag queen with a genital pun. Surely not. I just loved Rue in this old school updo. I love to see her like this. Like, I love that sort of guest girl updo.
To me, it wasn't a traditional sexy guest girl updo. It had,
Really?
like, yeah, it's like the like temples were like too tight. It seemed like, I didn't like it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
What did you think of Michelle's glam?
I didn't like it.
It
looked like sort of nerdy librarian in 1987 or something.
And also, in your lavender years, to be having puffy shoulders and then a wide, short hair as well, it just seemed, I don't know, it was a little confusing to me. But a timeless beauty.
Well,
Elegance.
you know how I feel about myself.
Exactly. Let's talk the CNTs, because these performers were wilding out. So first up, we have Georges. Did you give truffles for these performances?
Yep.
Okay.
We did last week.
Yep. Let's talk Georges. I'm going to say it. Giving me a bit Miss Cracker in the face in this look.
Well, Crackers to be so lucky.
But this was a bit cookie cut for me. This was a bit Ellie Diamond Date Cunt.
I think it was definitely better than that. I thought, firstly, what a fucking absolute little doll coming out.
Yeah.
So sexy. She did like one crazy move where she did like a side lunge and then sort of like popped out of it.
Yeah.
Very impressed with that. I was very into Rue at the end giving her, yes, bitch, yes. Yeah. Maybe we'll add him onto this.
Oh my God, I love him. What was he from? Sort of like
it's like a little
Chinese talent competition or
I
something.
don't even know.
Some sort of like American Idol in, I don't know, but it was like fucking the best. Anyway, we'll add that to the
We
pod.
actually will. I gave it 7.5.
I gave it 7, and I thought that was because I did like the beat, but that feels a bit generous now because because it was the beginning, I felt very hyped up, and I love a rumba beat, but it was just very.
Did you know the song?
No. Every single move, I could have done a checklist of the moves that she'll do, and she did them. It was just like, it just seemed to, if your talent is going to be dancing, dance, not just like the drag moves.
Yeah.
But yeah, next up we have Miss Jasmine Kennedy. Can I just say that hair system was so back heavy that she was giving that sort of like Alyssa back tilt to like try and balance your personal equilibrium.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Just a very similar vibe to what we've just seen, but without the extreme beauty. Some cute little tricks, like nice little backflip into splits. That was very compact.
It felt manic in the way that I love, though. It just felt like I felt a bit sort of like I had to hold my breath the whole time.
Yeah. Like I said, real Laganja vibes. I had to give it the same as I gave Georges because I felt like they were basically the same.
The only thing is, I would say, between the actual stunts and tricks, the moves felt a bit soft for me. I didn't feel like she was hitting in the way that a professionally trained dancer would and should. But I also gave it 7. Next up, we have Daya, baby. How do I feel about ringleader lion tamer drag?
It's probably your least favourite thing.
Imagine if you then combine that with teeny tiny top hats.
The only thing that made the teeny tiny top hat acceptable was the fact that it lived under a big top hat. So I appreciated the stupidness of the reveal. I could have done more, though. There could have been like 5 hats because there was a real jump in size. She could have been giving us Russian doll teeny top hat.
The Angeria side eye was very much me.
I would very liked that confetti stick. I'd like to know more about that, please.
You did.
That seems like better technology than we ever had in like those big cannons. It seemed just like a small, like a magic wand style, and you just, yeah. I need to do more research on that because that was very good. But that was my 2 favourite parts of the act.
Of the burning ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just meh.
I gave it 5.
I've given it 6 here, but I think I need to take it to a Cinco.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not for me. Miss
Lady.
Dirty Den.
It was cute. there were some nice moments, like when she did that little quick Macarena, like a little funny jokes in it.
Yeah.
She did do well. Michelle will tell us later that it's incredibly hard to do ballet in a stiletto.
Let me tell you, when she did her 4 years at the Ballet Conservatoire of New York.
Shame she didn't study in How Black Folk Talk, but
Yeah.
that's another thing.
The centre stage throwback felt a little bit more Save the Last Dance, Julia Stiles dance
the look?
performance. Just the actual performance. I didn't really feel like she was burning the floor. But it just seemed very
Does
weird.
anyone burn the floor with ballet?
Wow. Talk to Nureyev.
No.
Talk to Anna Pavlova. I mean, they're dead, so. I just felt it was just a weird choice for me. Like, do you know the centre stage? Have you ever seen centre stage?
No.
So in the very tepid, lukewarm world of young girls that love ballet, it's like the number one thing because she does this dance performance at the end. It's very Save the Last Dance. She's at ballet school.
It's a film.
She's from the wrong side of the tracks. Yeah, and she does this end dance to Dance, Nothing Left For Me To Do. And she's in red ballet shoes. And everyone's like,
Oh, so that's literally
oh my
what
God,
she's
imagine
doing.
wearing red ballet shoes. We're only allowed, yeah, and she's in red point shoes, and it's like the iconic thing of the movie. But it just seemed very weird to do it in like stilettos. I just thought like either do it in point shoes, either give them the Brooke moment, or like I don't know. It's just like that didn't really hit for me because you can't do ballet in heels because if you're already in releve, then you can't releve and like there's no elevation to ballet. It's just it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So then I would have given them sort of like if she's a dancer, I would have given them a little Latin number, but it just all seemed a bit weird and a bit. I don't know. It wasn't for me. I gave it a 6.
I gave it a 7. I thought, yeah, fine. I like the beat, but actually thinking back, but I didn't like the outfit. So how could I have liked the beat? For this talent show, did you feel like maybe some of the girls left the talent at home? Potential. I'm going to rechange that or to change that to a 7, to a 6.5.
6.5. Okay. Next up, we have Deja.
I felt very short. Like, did they cut some out to make her look even worse?
Respectfully, your whole bit being fat people can't cheer / jump is tone deaf and not it for me. I gave it a 4.
It would be so much more interesting to see a big girl really fucking fly and do mad tricks.
100%. And it just seems so strange for me as like, she is a big girl. Like for the whole, the entire joke of it was like, I'm fat and I can't do anything.
Yeah.
It was like, what? Like, surely you're in this competition. You know there's going to be dance challenges. You know there's literally been a cheerleading challenge before that was like the first challenge of season of,
and
of
so
episode
hard,
1.
so
Yeah.
hard.
So like, why are you as your talent being like, hey, I'm fat and I can't do anything? It's like, that's gonna come up again. Do you know what I mean? It just seems so stupid.
Yeah.
4.
I gave her a 6 because I feel like they did her dirty. Like, there's no way she came out with a 43-second chat. There must have been more to it than that, and I feel like they've edited it. They've cut it to make it look even worse.
Really caping for Deja there.
Not really, but I just feel like there's no way that was the full performance.
That to me was one of the worst talent shows ever. I just thought it was like, not only was it not, there was no talent in it. It wasn't funny. She didn't do anything. So it's like such a miss of like her time because you come out and you're like, look, I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, I'm a comedian. Like, you do something. She didn't actually show a single thing. It wasn't like I had even a good costume, and she wasn't funny, and she didn't dance, she didn't perform, she didn't do anything. It was like, it was also a bit offensive. So I just think like that was, yeah, I think, wow, 6 is really giving it. Okay, let's talk Madison.
Leash was feeling it.
I mean, making
Nick,
that axe
take me to
weep
church.
in her little lunch lady perm and ill-fitting Primark office suit.
I mean, I felt like the look with the hair worked together.
It was so bizarre, but I would have held up a Zippo. Like, it was. There's something about Ms. Madison. Like, it's odd, and you know how I feel.
I feel like she's just a very sort of quiet kind of person, maybe it seems. But yeah, like, obviously it's obvious, RuPaul said it before and after, like you can't just come out here and play guitar, even if you're going to do the thing, like
when she started giving the Hendrix teeth.
But like, at least then like what's the word, kind of like amp it up,
elevate it.
Yeah, just kind of like, be like writhing around like
Yeah.
it's so sexy, or just like you're just standing there giving me a.
And also, RuPaul is not worth ruining your enamel for. Like, really? Although she said she played it with the tongue, which is actually impossible. You do not have enough. She played it with her teeth. That's what you do. You do not have enough muscularity in your tongue.
I mean, she
was
wasn't
like shredding.
Was she?
Well, it was like no, but it was like you physically cannot go and pluck guitar strings that fast. Like she was playing it with her teeth. It was
Maddie
mental.
sucks the pussy. You don't know how
Wow, you really thought
dexterous.
about that, haven't you? Can I?
the tongue
I want to
is.
point out something very obvious. It was the whole performance was really, really fucking hetero. That was what that is a man. That is a straight man in a wig. Like the fact it had no sort of like stagecraft and like you
Yeah.
said, it wasn't elevated in any way. It was just like a man in drag playing a guitar in a pub.
And it could have just been a man with long hair who
Yeah.
wears eyeliner.
Yeah, it was just the whole thing. It felt a bit Joan Jett.
There was
rather
just no
than-
show. Yeah, there was no showbiz.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to need.
And I'm a bit worried, like I said, with the stunt casting. I'm a bit worried. I do like, there's something weird about them that I like, but I'm a bit worried that we're going to hit the floor. Do we hit the floor or the ceiling? A floor.
I mean,
When
we'll
it's
hit
like
a
you've
plateau.
seen a plateau. You've seen all you've seen.
But I
Next,
mean, that's going to happen to 90% of people that come in. Like,
yeah. Next up, we have Angeria VP. Is it Van Paris Michaels?
Paris Van Michaels.
Paris PVM. Angeria PVM.
She's giving me that real southern dragged out drag.
As soon as that old school Atlanta beat started and you were getting your little Tamisha Iman narration, I was like, fine.
What about
Fine.
walking into the smoke and appearing coatless?
She came with her own sort of like Stars in the Rise time machine.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
It was fun. Like, we've seen it a million times before. I gave it 7.5 because it's just so fucking draggy.
Yeah.
But like, it wasn't groundbreaking.
Her movements were at one point so jerky. It looked like her legs were transplants that were rejecting. They were just like going out of like a Betty spaghetti, just like
Transplant, check. Betty spaghetti, check.
rejecting. Ooh. It was the whole thing. But do you know what I love in the talent show is what I want to see is what will I get if I come to see your show? And from watching Angie, I was like, I'm a fangy. Like, I would come to see your show. And I didn't really get that with anyone else. I was
No.
like, apart from maybe
Georges.
Georges and maybe Jasmine. Like, I was
Like,
like,
if you're drunk and those two are flipping about, you're going to be screaming and
I was
hollering.
like, I would come see your show. For all of the others, I would be like, I wouldn't want to see your
Don't
show.
let me get me, honey.
Yeah. Have we left out Daya?
No.
Oh no, the
Hats and
lion
hats and
tamer.
hats.
Yeah. But yeah, Angeria into it. Let's talk runway, which is once again show-stopping drag.
It's actually not. It was sickening signature drag.
Oh, thank you. First up, we have Georges giving Purple Train.
I loved it.
Heaven.
I loved when the dress was attached. I loved when it was a catsuit. I loved the separate arm. I gave it 8.5 truffles.
My first thing was heaven.
And
Like,
you don't normally like a catsuit.
and I'm not normally, all of the bits of this are not really hitting for me. There was a close-up later when she was on the runway and the stoning was
I've just remembered what it's obviously a copy of.
impeccable. What?
Naomi's All-Stars finale
Yeah, that's
look.
literally what I wrote. I was like, the reason why it brought me round is because, first of all, the use of that like royal purple when you look like a big quality street, like just absolutely fucking gorgeous. And like the expensive like stiffness of that. What's that material called?
Like a mesh or something.
No, like what the purple coat was made out of.
Oh,
It's
I
like
don't know.
what you make wedding dresses out of. Whatever it was, fucking gorgeous.
Probably a cotton plastic blend.
Yeah, cotton poly blend, shiny, lots of movement. But I did actually prefer before the reveal. When it came off, I thought gorgeous, but that's not show-stopping drag to me.
No, but that's when
a nice reveal.
you park and bark, the beat kicks in and you need
Yeah.
to do a couple of
Got to
backy
do
flips.
Drop to them knees. I gave it an 8 though. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Deja in A Rose by Any Other Name.
I thought the body shape was incroyable.
Really?
It's literally just like, bam,
Girl, you're
hits.
shaped like a Coke bottle.
Giving me Patrick Star. I
so much.
didn't
And that was something that I would try and stay away from, if
Yeah.
I'm honest.
I didn't like all of the extra flouncy material. It didn't really make sense to me.
3 words. Not for me.
6.5 I
Give it
gave.
5.
Oh,
It's just, it was airing too close to the world of damask for me. The rose lace, and also I just thought
Carson bloody loved it. I think actually they all did.
when
Bizarre.
you look like Patrick Starr, I wouldn't want my first show-stopping drag to be in Patrick Starr cosplay. Like, I just don't
No,
get
I'd
it.
save
Like,
that for Snatch Game, honey.
yeah. And yeah, just not for me. Next up, we have Ms. Jasmine Kennedy giving Gorge W. Bush.
When I say BWTs, what do I mean?
BWTs. What?
Big, wide.
Oh,
titties.
big wide titties.
God damn
Shut
it.
you and a big wide titty. It's Sigourney Beaver. She's really, really.
Well, it's Jodie Powell who's set it
the
off.
original.
The original big wide titty.
Shout out to
I
Jodie Powell's
liked
big wide titties,
the very low back, giving me J-Lo in the Versace, in the
Yeah.
Versace. However, I felt it was a bit empty on the hips.
Did you?
Yeah.
Maybe that's just because of the big wide titties and there's no balancing. Otherwise, she'd be
No.
like a size. Like, she'd just be huge.
Yeah. But I gave it 7.5 truffs.
I loved the sort of, my first thought was, this is giving me Barbara. Like, it's just like they're muted, sort of like fleshy golds. Love all of that. She's 22.
Wow, she looks older.
22. But like, it's like Michelle says later, like, such a good, like the references that she's giving, really hard to remember that this is a 22-year-old queen. And she definitely sort of dresses and paints much older, but I don't mind that at all, because
No.
if that's how you want to look, that's how you want to look.
It's drag,
I gave
baby.
it 7. Next up, we have Madison Morphosis in Severed Antoinette.
I thought this was great. I was just trying to imagine her hunched body, like the
Oh my
mechanics
God.
of it the whole time.
I had
These little shuffles.
I literally had back pains just even thinking about it. Like, I was like, what is she doing? Is she on like a skateboard under there? Like,
Probably.
what is going on?
Probably Tony Hawk's Leno skateboard. You know those memes when it's like, if a dog was to wear trousers, would it wear them like this
Yeah.
or this? I was literally like, how was she hunched over? Like so or like so?
I need to see an X-ray. I've got a couple of things to say. First of all, I did like it, and I thought commitment. You're hunching and you're whatever you're doing under there. But 3 things.
Wig.
I mean, let's not even get onto that. Well, 4 things. First of all, it's a very famous Gaga reference, and the Gaga one is really good, and this is just like a real step down from it. And if you're coming on
I've not seen
a
the Gaga
queer
reference.
show, we'll put the Gaga reference on. If you're coming on a queer, in fact, actually, I think I saved it. Yeah, I did. There you go. That's Gaga performed like it, and Gaga's neck is like bloody and severed. The dress is better. The jewels are better. It's just like,
But also, that's a classic Halloween costume.
yeah. But she's like, she's known for that. So it's like to come onto a queer program where the first thing people are going to be like is, and Michelle or Carson was like, oh, this is the first time that we've seen that on this runway. Very careful to be like, that's the first time I've ever seen a look like this. So it's like just on this runway because it's known. But weird that no one referenced it was Gaga, but whatever. And I'm not even a Gaga stan. So it's like, for me to know that, sure, whatever. She was in flats.
Was she?
Yeah.
That.
She was in a white sock and ballet pump.
Maybe that's because she did have to hunch over the whole time.
Sure. But it was the choice
Choices.
of flats. Yeah. It was the choice of flats. I would have done sort of more like a Marie Antoinette, sort of like a pastel with like a ribbon or something. I don't know, like, but she was like, I am in flats. She might as well have been in like her gym shoes, you know? And then the main point is that, as someone kindly pointed out on Twitter, that costume is £55 from Amazon, and it is a cosplay costume from Marie Antoinette. Is that the first thing that comes up when you type Marie Antoinette in? She is a cosplay queen though. But what is the difference morally and psychologically between paying I can't even think of a single designer, one of the American designers, £700 and be like, can you design me this? It needs caging, it needs this, blah, 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 ... to buying a £50 costume off Amazon.
Well,
Nothing,
it's probably
really.
more expensive than the children's Halloween costume that Evie Oddly
Yeah,
wore.
yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
not
and
against it, I'm just pointing it out.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, obviously that's a bit shit, but think of, like, is Drag Race accessible for people to do, or
Well,
is it not?
Exactly, and that's what I mean. what I'm saying is there any difference between, I suppose maybe if you're going to a designer, you might have a full input into actually the design of it. It's like, I can't make this, but I've drawn it up. I've envisaged what I want to look like, and then they've brought that to life. So there is really no creativity in buying a fully formed costume from Amazon. And also Jeff Bezos supporting in 2022, I don't think. But yeah, weird. I just thought when someone pointed that out, I was like, interesting. I've never really thought about, is that like lower? Is that shitter to be buying something off Amazon to wear on Drag Race?
I mean, people are buying shit off AliExpress to wear. What's the difference?
True. But would you wear an AliExpress costume for your best drag?
No.
Exactly. But I gave it 7, which seems a lot.
I gave it 7.5 because I liked it more than just the beat. I thought, because I didn't know the Gaga reference, I thought that's a good way to make yourself stand out.
Okay.
Congrats.
Now we next up we have Miss Angeria Paris Van Michaels serving you fine wine.
This is so Padge. I can't even
Everything
cope.
that you love about Padge. It's Jennifer Lopez in The Cell does pageant. You know, she's in that like.
That.
Oh my god, she has this like sort of like burgundy like suit. I mean, that literally that color. I love Angeria.
Same. That's right. I love her so much.
I gave it 9.
It's not really for me. I like the pageantry of pageantry, but I don't actually like that gown. Wasn't blowing my mind. I gave it 7 truffles.
7. I'm exactly the same, but it's like. Funny that you mentioned earlier Jada. It's like when Jada does pageant, I love it because I'm just like, it's also refined, it's also gorgeous, it's beautiful. I would never want to look like that, but when someone does it right, and I think she did, then I was like, okay, great.
But I feel like for example, that dress, I would have liked it if it was like 40% more shiny, for example.
Sure.
It was just a bit kind of, it's like subtly gorgeous, but I need things to be overtly, aggressively gorgeous.
And my go-to page as well is, do you remember when Brooke did her with Plastique?
Oh,
that is like, that's what I think of when I think like, okay, that is the pageant that I like. I wouldn't again want to be in it, but like that's the highest level of pageant to me. But she's a Miss Continental winner. Next up we have Dirty Den, the lady.
I said it's not really for me, but I appreciate she sort of went to effort and tried to find little details, etc. I gave it 6.5 truffles.
4 words for you as I look you directly in the eye, someone who grew up in North London. Camden Town Raver Girl. Do you think...
I mean, it's not Cyberdog, is it?
It's not that. I was going to say, first of all, Camden has the most famous like rave shop in maybe the world. Like it has Cyberdog, and it was so far away from Camden Town, like 90s raver girl. It was just like such a confusing reference.
I don't think people understand what like 90s raver girls were. They'd be like the dancers with like fluffy boots and bikinis, but everyone else would just be in like combat trousers and like a bra. Like it's not,
or like iced out, like how you would be. Like I don't know. It just like if like I mean, I suppose that's late 90s, isn't it? Like if you're in like mosh or whatever, but like dressed up nicely, not Katy Perry does raver.
No, she looks like
Candy Girls.
Boohoo does SGP or whatever.
It was just all a bit mental, wasn't it? I just put it was crafty and confusing, and I gave it a 5.
Fine.
So then, last but not least, we have Daya serving ribbon wiggle.
I've written Daya Berry. I love a hobble dress. I love the whole concept of one. Like, oh, a pencil skirt, not annoying enough for you. Like, let's take it literally down a notch.
And that your knees are like so squatly turned in that you sort of have to like hobble a bit sideways, so your legs are sort of kicking out the side. Heaven.
However,
not however.
This is probably the only thing I would have worn myself on the runway.
Me too. I actually thought that.
Very much into the Mugatu hair. I'll put Mugatu on the list.
Yeah, I just put that this is really simple and really stylish, and even though again the hair is absolutely not for me, far too fussy. Is it Koji? Did you see anywhere?
No.
It looks really Koji.
Although it looks a bit soft for his look quite hard.
Yeah, that's true. I just don't know who it would be otherwise. Because that's... I
imagine that's one of just Crystal's wigs. I feel like I can picture Crystal in
really?
that. Yeah.
I just thought it was really, even though the hair, is really not for me because it's too fussy. I just thought this is all done so well, and I look at it and I know exactly what I'm getting. I gave this a 9. I thought this was just really, and I really, really liked the dress.
I've some here written 7.5, but I know that's not true. So this was my favourite one.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 9 as well.
Yeah. Okay. So then next up we have the zinger, the minger.
Zinger
It's like
or
me and you.
minger? Do you zing or
I
ming?
zing. You
I
ming.
ming.
My zinger, this was a confusing one because there was lots of well done hair.
Hang on, are you doing it from what?
The runways, always.
Okay, not from the whole episode.
No, but we can do that if you
No,
want. but
no,
I
I've done it just from the runway.
I said there's lots of well done hair but it's just so far from my personal taste. So when I look at people like, this is obviously wasn't in the running, but like Georges, for example, the Edward Scissorhands bunches, it's so well done. It looks gorgeous on her. It's like so finessed, but I would just never wear it, so I don't love it. And exactly the same actually with Diabetes. Blue hair, whoever did that, it was incredible. Like, it was so...
Well, that was my favourite. Like, I wouldn't necessarily choose it, but it had the height and it had length, and it was, I would say that would be my favourite.
Really? Mine was Ruse Updo, because I just really liked that. No. The minger.
It's got to be Maddie's fancy dress wig.
I mean... It was like, when at least if you're going to wear like a Smithy's wig, at least spray it with dry shampoo to take some of that shine off. There was like one shot of her when she was like at the front, and like the way it was hitting it was like, it looked like it was made out of sort of like nylon. It's like, girl. Mine was actually Lady Camden's micro fringe. Like that weird little blue hydrangea, little sticky fringe. Not for me. Then we head into the critiques. Can I say, to be told straight up, looking you dead in the eye, it wasn't funny. Non-negotiable. We did not laugh.
That's
I don't know how you recover from that. Not sure I can recover from that, ladies. And also obviously you need help with your makeup. I didn't clock that.
No, me neither.
When they did a close-up, it did look a bit shaky, but like we've had Monique Hart on here.
I thought it was
fine.
Good. I like her lip shape. I thought, the eye was good.
I can't believe that Lady C did not get torn open for that look. I was waiting for them to be like, girl, what the fuck is this?
Your homemade peacock backpack.
Honestly. Peacock backpack. I want to see your...
peacock backpack.
It was just, bad. But then it is revealed that... Do you want to tell him who was safe? Have you got that?
Georges, safe. Lady
Georgia.
C, safe. Jasmine, safe. Maddie, safe.
And that means that we have got Angie. Angie for the win.
Oh, absolutely made up.
And that's
Mini Anna Main.
Mini Anna Main on the first ep. That's winner's shit.
That's my favourite little snow.
She will be in the final.
Snow mammal.
I think it'll be Angie. I think it'll be Kerry, and I think it will be Cornbread.
Black excellence for the win.
And that's also who won all of the main.
Yeah. So by scorecard, correct. You are in fact right.
That sneak attack double win. Love to see it, Angie. Love to see it. I'm just so excited to see what she brings. But we do head into a Deja Dea showdown to fall in.
I was like, what? Although when it played, I was like, okay, it has actually got more like ups and downs than I remembered it. But it's like, just not a ballad. Come on.
I feel like it's so hard. It's so one note. Like, it does obviously have... No, it's one note the whole way through. You've got
it gets a bit like gospel-y and a bit more at the end, but
I don't know. I was just like, oh god, this is sad. And at least she's got some bangers. At least, like,
although I was trying to think like upbeat Alicia,
like girlfriend.
What's that?
I think I'm jealous of your girlfriend.
I don't think I know that one.
And
what's the one I like when she's in their coffee shop?
Oh, you don't know my name.
Is that the one?
Yeah, and then you could be doing the. Hello, can I speak to Michael? It's the waitress from the coffee house on 39th and Lenox. You know, the one with the braids. Like, you could be giving it all. It'd be so good. There's just like, so, and also you could do like, I'd rather do New York State of Mind. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
New York.
But there's another one though that I like. I don't know.
She's had some like. I feel like she's had some up tempos as well.
I don't know that she did.
I just absolutely love her. And didn't you feel like she had the absolute best energy in the studio? Just like real, like warm, real Lizzo energy. Actually,
I'd say less than Lizzo.
Okay.
It's not a competition.
No, it's not. Not a close one. But she, yeah, I'm just trying to think. I don't actually think there is like probably this girl is on fire.
No.
I just feel like Falling was like such a mental choice.
Yeah, I've literally written falling with exclamation marks on my notes. I sound like that one from Maths UK on my notes. First gay couple, first sight.
Yeah,
they are still together.
It was just a bit difficult. And Deja was lip syncing the whole time with her eyes closed, which I hate. I get that, like, maybe sometimes you're going to need you're going to need to pull yourself together and look within to find that, to find the next bit of the performance. But there was one bit when they were looking at her for like 30 seconds and she just had her eyes closed for the whole time. It was like, I need connection, girl.
Yeah, I thought it was hard. I didn't really, again, love the lip sync. Deja definitely had a bit more of a softness, which I preferred. But
my main takeaway from it was it's really fucking poor stagecraft and poor sisterhood to leave your giant coat in the middle of the stage, I think. Like, for the whole performance. She took it off and laid it out, and then it was just like... There was one point, did you see, when Daya like walked over the stage and she was like looking down, because she was like, obviously, like, I don't want to pheromone myself. Yeah. And I just thought that's kind of a bit cunty. Like, it's both of your stages, and that's obviously a huge slippy coat. It's like, I didn't really...
my main takeaway from the whole thing was, what did Daya do to herself? Had she slashed open her whole chest and shoulders?
What?
When it shows her like leaving, literally, because she's got that strapless dress on, all of her like décolletage and shoulders are like slashed.
Oh my God. What?
I'm going to have to add a picture.
So tight.
I don't know. It's like as if she's been like scratching herself.
Oh God.
Well, we'll have to get a picture, I guess.
Ideally, hopefully, she's touched her mouth, it's got lipstick on, then she's been touching her chest.
Ideally, yeah.
Ideally. We need to talk about the Alexandra Burke elephant in the room. When RuPaul said there is a lip sync assassin, I thought, fuck this show. It's always on some bullshit. What are you talking about? Lip sync assassin? I literally watched it.
Oh, Jesus. Gross.
I literally watched it and I was like, that lip sync was maybe like a 3 or 4 at best. So boring. And both of them were shit.
Yeah.
And she's like, a lip sync assassin. Okay.
Shut the fuck up.
Put her against Sasha.
Please.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, a lip sync
name.
assassin. Put her against Tace. I dare you. Like, what the fuck?
Put her against my Shay Shay.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I'd like to be put against
I'd like Shay to be put against.
In fact, I'd like to be put in between Tace and Shay.
Okay.
Ideally, yeah. Again, we're losing an interesting queen that has a fashion eye that is giving you references. This is why I was like, I'm hot again. What, we're losing them.
So you would have rather seen Deja go?
100%. Like, so not like Daya had an interesting entrance look. Had the talent, not for me, but
neither was Daya's.
But at least they did perform and they had tricks and stunts. It just wasn't my taste. They had things going on.
Oh yeah, they were doing like magic and shit.
Yeah. They had little things going on. They blew up a balloon, whatever. Like
oh la la.
And then I actually loved their runway. It was my favourite runway. So it's like all of that as a package, much more impressive than didn't like Deja. I don't really like Deja's makeup. Didn't like the entrance look. The talent was the worst, and didn't like their runway. So it's like, oh, I can't believe I just much would have preferred Daya.
Yeah.
But
maybe they'll do those two battle for a place to come back at some point halfway through. You never know.
Maybe.
You never know.
But yeah, we unfortunately say goodbye to Daya. And we sent her back to Missouri. Lukey, Rose and Thorn. Tell me your Rose.
Rose, happy to have the full set now of gals.
Yeah,
the full
you
stable.
like a full set, don't you?
And for it all to just get going properly now.
Yeah, mine was Angie straight away. Love her so
A
much.
to the N to the G to the I to the E is Angie. My Thorn was disappointing from the House of Method.
It is. And my thorn was actually, I don't think this split serves the lineup well. It feels too brutal. But that's showbiz, kid. You know?
And next week, the two Lots of Queens meet and we have 2 fashion shows.
Which is, I love the balls. I love them so much.
Is it balls?
The balls.
Is it defo balls?
Yeah.
I thought it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
when you do like the summer and the winter looks.
Oh, I thought he said we've got a ball.
Oh, maybe I just
Maybe
wrote
I
fashion
lied.
shows
I
because
don't
I'm
know.
kooky.
Yeah, I love these so much because that's when they have to make an outfit and give you multiple looks. And the girls that get it.
And those that don't, you got to hit it, honey. In terms of hitting it, we should probably hit it and do some work.
Yeah,
and then I can tell you whose busted makeup I was talking
If
about
it's me,
earlier.
I don't wanna hear it. Right, love you gals. It's been real. It's been fresh. And we'll see you next week.
Disgusting!
Bye.
Bye.